We are in Avodah Zara. We are in Avodah Zara.
Put it in the bulletin and see what happens.
Doing Avodah Zara. We are in Avodah Zara.
Float it in the bulletin and see what happens.
Okay.
Next week.
No, next week. It could be in a month from now. We don't have to do it next week. But you're right. So the Gemara. Rav Chinina bar Papa Rami. Daled Amid Aleph. Wide line. Rav Chinina bar Papa asked the following question. Ksiv Shaddai lo mitzanu sagi koach. Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't have overbearing koach. Uchsiv, and it says Gadol Adonenu v'Rav Koach. Kadosh Baruch Hu has a lot of power. Uchsiv Yemincha Hashem Nadari B'Koach. On one hand, he doesn't have a lot of koach. On the other end, he doesn't have overbearing koach. Obviously, he has unlimited koach, but doesn't use his koach in an overbearing way, seemingly. And on the other hand, it says that he uses his koach. Lo kasha kan b'shas hadin, kasha b'shas ha-melchama. When it comes to shas hadin, when it comes to judging the Jewish people, so he doesn't use it in an overbearing way. When it comes to Shas Milchama against the Goyim, he uses it to help us in an overbearing way against them. Rabbi Chama bar Chanina Rami, Chanina Rami, Ksiv Chema Ainli, Uksiv Nokem Hashem Ubal Chema. Chema I don't have, and then it says Hashem is a Baal Chema. So does Hashem get angry? Does he not get angry? Lo kasha kan be Yisrael, kan be Ovdei Kochavim. Yisrael, he holds back his anger, but Ovdei Kochavim, he gets angry more often. Rabbi Chanina bar Papa. Amar Chema Ainli, different. No, he says it's all talking about the Jewish people. Chema Ainli k'vashakvar nishpati. The reason I don't have Chema is because I swore they don't have Chema. Mi itneini, had it been shalom nishpati, seemingly to all of the avos. Shomer v'shayis. He says if I had not have sworn, then lamaisa I would have wanted to destroy the Jewish people. But since I took a shvua, quote unquote, that I wouldn't destroy them, so lamaisa I will not destroy them, and I cannot destroy them. V'hainu dam Rabbi Alexandri. Now, usually V'hainu is a continuation of what was just said, but V'hainu Rashi here clearly says is going on the fact that Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't come bitrona imbriosav. He doesn't come full force with his creations. On that day, he's going to want to destroy the goyim. Who's he going to be? Avakesh from Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu. Avakesh bin nigani shalahem. I'm going to check out their chronicles. We know that everybody has chronicles. Jewish people have chronicles as well. And Lamaisa, everything you do is recorded. He's going to look at what they did to record or what they recorded. And Lamaisa will see whether they're worthy of being destroyed or not. What does it mean when it says Ach lo bi yishlach yadim befido lahen shua? Amalan Kadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael kashani danis Yisrael einani dano sam keovdei kochavim dechsiv ava asimena. When Kadosh Baruch Hu judges the Jewish people, he doesn't judge them like the ovdei kochavim. He judges them slowly, piece by piece. Ela'ani nifra me'en kepid shel tarnagolas. He pays them as a pid shel tarnagolas, like a little tarnagolas that goes like this and pecks away. That's how he goes out and punishes us. He doesn't do one big boom. He goes and he pecks slowly at us, seemingly that he doesn't want to destroy us at one time. Seemingly, that's the pashup shot. Says the Gemara Dover Acher.
It says he'll make Yerushalayim into ruins. Isn't that referring to the goyim? That's the punishment. I don't understand.
What are you talking
about?
That pasuk? Ava asimena.
Yeah.
Which parts? I think he's just using that to say that I'm going to do it very slowly. I don't think he's talking about the non-Jews, he's talking about the Jewish people. I'm going to do it I'm going to do it very, very slowly. Here it's not talking about punishing them. The other understanding is that as you do little things, I add them all up. We don't say you did a little thing here, a little thing there, a little thing there, and they all sort of fall by the wayside.
Cumulative.
We add up, and it's cumulative, and therefore, Lamaisa, I can give you a big reward. Shneimar im befido lahen shava. Davracher bischar shemishavin lefanai ani moshia osan. The other verse Achar is that he says that in the schar that they cry out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he saves them. So either, again, it means that he punishes them a little bit at a time, or if they do a little bit of a time, he rewards them for all the little things that they do, or as they cry out to him, he saves them. And what does it mean when Hashem says, I'm going to redeem them and they're going to talk bad upon me? So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, based on the way Rashi explained, is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes it that they have to use their mammon and they have to pay a little bit at a time to give tzedakah. He makes another, there's like the fourth pshat, that over here, when we're talking about pecking, Baruch Hu makes it that Jewish people have to constantly be giving little parts of tzedakah to different people, and by doing so, they're zocha to be in Olam Haba. And yet, they talk lies about him, and they don't like the fact that they have to suffer. I.e., people don't like suffering in this world for Olam Haba. I don't want Olam Haba. I want to enjoy this world. That's not the right attitude. Behind the Damar of Papi, Bishmei de Rava, Maidis Libani, Sarti, Chizakti, Zerosam, Velayich, Shura, Amar Godesh Baruch, Ani Amarti, Isreim, Bi Yisurim, Balam Hazik, Reshi Yichasku, Zerosam, Olam Haba, Ve'elu Yichashura. Similarly, nobody wants to get sick in this world. And that's a natural thing. You don't want to get sick, even though you know that by getting Yisurim in this world, you'll end up next world having more Olam Haba. That's what the Gemara says. Mishtabach Lahu Rabbi Avo. Lemine B'Rav Safra Dadam Gadolu. Rabbi Avo was praising Rav Safra that he was a big gadol. He was praising them to the minim, to the non-believers. Shafgule Michsa Ditleis Arshnin. So the non-believer said, okay, he's a clergyman. He gets a 13-year tax exemption. Beautiful parsonage. Yom Achadashachu Amr Lake Siv. So then they went to him one day, and they said, it says, only you, the Jewish people I know, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and therefore I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to punish you. Said the minim mande isle sise barachme masikle. I understand. The one who has his horse, so the one that has zam, sise means horse, it doesn't really mean horse, it means zam, it means anger. Why would he go and take the anger on the person that he actually likes? I don't understand it. First you tell me in the pasuk, only you the Jewish people do I love, and then it says, and therefore I'm going to punish you. What's the connection? Ishtik v'lo amar lehu v'lo midi. So he was quiet, didn't have an answer. Rama lay sudra bitzavi become mitzarli. So they tied a sudra on his neck and they gave him tsar. If you're a rabbi and you're getting the clergy exemption, if you're getting the parsonage, you have to know something. You can't just say I'm a rabbi and get the parsonage. You have to know something. So Lamai said they don't want to give him the parsonage anymore. Says in Gemara, Asher Rabbi Avo, we found him. Armalu amai, what? Parsonage.
Yeah, free houses.
That's how rabbis are able to live in this world. We get sometimes a little bit of tax exemption. It doesn't really help in Canada, but okay. No. Armalu amai matzritzulei. Why are you giving him tsar? Amrulei v'lav amar salam da adam gadolhu v'lo yadol me'emalam perusha dai psuka. Understand? You told us that he knows how to learn. We gave him the parsonage because he's a rabbi. He knows how to learn. But Lamaisa, he doesn't even know the answer to an easy question. How can you go ahead and give him the parsonage? Amrulhu eimar darmi l'chu b'tnai b'kurai mi'amr l'chu. No, you didn't understand. He's a regular yeshiva bacher. He doesn't learn Tanakh. He just learns Gemara. Yeshiva bachim don't know how to learn Tanakh. They know how to learn Gemara. Amrulei ma'ishnason diadisun. Why do you know Tanakh? I'll just tell you parenthetically, this is the famous idea, right? Unfortunately, it's not something to be proud of, but unfortunately the way of the education system has always been, not in Israel, but in America I can say, is that we didn't really learn Tanakh growing up. We sort of, we learned a little bit of Chumash here, a little bit of Navi here, but they don't go through Tanakh. It's not like you come out knowing Tanakh. The real way to learn Gemara is to learn Tanakh first. So that when you quote the psukim, you don't have to look up at the article every single time. Right. So they make a joke that they say, how do you know that Moshe and Aaron were brothers? So if you ask a regular person who knows how to learn Tanakh, so he says, it says in Tanakh that Moshe and Aaron were brothers. If you ask a yeshiva bacher who never learned Tanakh, so what does he say? He says, I once learned the Ksos, and the Ksos was giving a case of there was a monetary argument between two brothers, and the Ksos says that one of the brothers was Moshe, one of the brothers was Aaron. It must be from the Ksos, you could be medayik that Moshe and Aaron were brothers. That's how Yeshiva Bacher knows that the Moshe and Aaron were brothers. So that's the pshat. Unfortunately, it's funny only because it's so true. And unfortunately, when you have a handle of Tanakh and you really understand Tanakh, it's much easier. So again, we say that the entire Torah is included in the Gemara, and we do our best, but in an ideal world, so we would learn Tanakh more than, I can only speak for me, but we would learn Tanakh and would have learned Tanakh while growing up more than many people currently do.
But like you said, in Israel they fixed that. The kids,
in Israel,
Tanakh, top to bottom.
Again, I don't know every place, but in Israel, a lot of places know Tanakh top to bottom. Now they have a program in Israel called Tanakh 929. I forgot the name of the Rav who's running it. Really trying to get people to learn Tanakh. 929, I don't remember exactly.
To combat the Maskilim, the Gedolim said not to learn Tanakh.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did.
Right.
But they never ended that.
It was like a cry thing, right?
Right. It's interesting.
They would rely on the Ksiv and not on the...
it's interesting, right.
The Torah Shabbat Peh.
Right.
So we did the opposite.
So over here, again, we can do both. So he says, Anosted. So he's a rabbi, and he only learned Gemara because he went to yeshiva. So how come you know Tanakh? What's pshat? What did you do? Amalu ana dishchichin gabaychon ramina nafshin umaynin. I didn't learn Tanakh either, but I'm surrounded by meaning like you. I know always ask me difficult questions, so I figured I'll learn a little bit Tanakh so I can answer your questions. Inu lo mayne. He's not surrounded by minim. He doesn't have to bother with Tanakh. Amrulei Lemalanat. Okay, very nice. Okay, you gave me a satisfactory answer. We'll untie the thing from around his neck. We'll give him back his parsonage. But at the end of the day, so tell us the answer to our question. How can it be that Akash Baruch Hu says, I love the Jewish people, and therefore I'm going to punish them? Now again, he couldn't clearly say, because what would the easy answer be? Like we just said, they're going to get more Olam Haba. That's not going to speak to Minim. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in Olam Haba. So what's he saying? I'll give you a mashal, they said to the Minim. There's two people, and they both owe me money. I want to collect Avav from two people. I like one and I don't like the other. So no niframenu batzachas. What does it mean? Akash Baruch Hu, of course, he's going to go ahead and he's going to punish the people that are not serving him. But the ones that love him and that he loves, so he has to punish them a little bit, but he's going to punish them very slowly. That's the pshat. He's saying the ones that he loves, not that I'm going to punish the ones that he loves. Oh, how could he punish the ones he loves? He needs to punish the ones that he loves. But the point is that the ones that he loves, he's willing to punish very slowly, a little bit at a time, like the pecking of the rooster, as opposed to going bebas achas.
Why was he a rabbi of Minim?
He wasn't, but the Minim asked questions all the time. No, the Minim were the ones running the government.
But they gave him parson. Oh, they're the government.
I'm saying they're the government.
Yeah.
They're the government, so they're asking questions. Amar Rabbi Barkana. Who said that Avram Avinu said, Akash Baruch Hu, how can you kill a tzaddik with a rasha when he's trying to save the cities? Amar Avram Lifnei Akash Baruch Hu Rebbeinu Shalom Chulin Hu Me'asos Kadavar Zel Tzaddik Tzaddikim rasha. It's Chulin, it's a Chil Hashem. V'lo, it says in Gemara, V'achsiv Ikrati Mchat Tzaddik V'rasha. Akash Baruch Hu says it's not a Chil Hashem. Akash Baruch Hu says I will kill sometimes a tzaddik with a rasha. It says in Gemara, B'tzaddik She'eno Gomer. That's only by Tzaddik Shem Gomer. But Tzaddik Gomer lo. By Tzaddik Gomer, it is a Chil Hashem to go ahead and destroy him with the rasha. V'aksiv, but it says Umi Mikdashi Techelu V'tani Rabbi Yosef Al Tikri Mikdashi Ella Mimikochai. You see that it is a Chil Hashem if you go ahead and you get rid of the Kodesh people. So how can you say that it's only so again, you're right. It's a Chil Hashem to go ahead and get rid of a total tzaddik. But the bottom line is that the very few people are total tzaddikim. Some people are not total tzaddikim, they're tzaddik she'eino gomer, or they're even a tzaddik she'eino gomer if they have the ability to help other people or to stand up against other people, which we know unfortunately is not so easy to do. If they're not michu against other people, if they don't stand up against other people that are making a Chil Hashem, then they themselves, by definition, are not tzaddikim gemurim. If you believe in something, you need to go ahead and stand up. That's what Avram Avinu was all about. He was a tzaddik gomer. He stood up against the entire world. What? Yeah.
And that's the whole thing with Noach. He didn't do anything.
Okay. Okay. Rav Papa Rami. Ksiv, according to some. So you might remember this. It says brachos here, but I thought we had it again after brachos. Maybe you'll remember. We had this whole thing about Bilam HaRasha and Akash Baruch Hu getting upset at a certain time of the day. So once it says that Akash Baruch Hu gets upset every day, and then it says, who can stand before Hashem getting upset? If he gets upset, the world will fall apart. Lo kasha. Kan b'yachid, kan b'tzibor. A yachid cannot stand up against Hashem getting upset. The tzibor, the klal can. Turn Rabbanan el zoei mechol yom, kama zoamo rega. How long is he angry every day for a rega? V'kama rega, not so long. Achas mechamesh ribo shoshes alafim u'shmona me'as v'arbaim u'shmona b'shah zuhi rega. 153,848th of an hour. How many seconds is that? Shlomi? Aren't you a lawyer? 153,848th of an hour. Not a lot of time. A 0.00000 of a second.
86 seconds.
What?
There's 86,000 seconds.
There's 86,000 seconds in
a day.
In a day. So this is 153,848th of an hour. Whatever, do the math and get back to me. Says the Gemara, it's not a long time. He's this.
It's definitely not the time to say Shalom Aleichem to your friend.
No, it's not that much time. No. Not that much time. Ve'ein kol bria yechol lachavin oisa rega chutz mi'ulam rasha. And Bilam was the only one who was able to go in and be mechavein what this rega was. Dichsib, as it says, v'yodea das elyon. Because he knew the das elyon, he knew when HaKadosh Baruch Hu got upset. He says, how do you know that it means that he knew that HaKadosh Baruch Hu got angry? Because efshar das mem telo hava yada das elyon yomi avodah. It can't be that he knew everything about God. He couldn't even understand and know what the donkey were thinking. Where do we have this? My das behemto lo hava yada. What does it mean he didn't know his das behemto? Be'inna dechazu le davar rachiv achamrei. Everybody saw that he was riding a donkey. They said to him, Amrulei, my time alo rechafta suse. Why are you riding a donkey? A chashav guy like you should be riding a sus. Amrulei berativa shadayle. You're right. Today's the sus's off day. He's in the marshland eating. Miyad v'tomar son alo anochi asoncha. So the son speaks up and says, "What are you talking about? You always ride me." Amar la latina be'alma. No, I only ride him when I carry packages. Amar le. So the donkey says back, Asher achafta alai. What are you talking about? You ride on me. You don't just take me when you're carrying packages. Amar la akrai be'alma. So Bilam doesn't know how to answer. He's having this whole back and forth. He says, "No, I only use him once in a while." It's not true. You use me every single day. Not only do you use me during the day, you have relations with me at night. How do we know that? It says Haskein Hiskandi. When Melech was getting old, so he had to have the woman to warm him up. So it says the word sochenes, over here it's Hiskanti. So you see that he had these relations with the donkey. It doesn't mean that he knows dasal. He can't even win an argument with his donkey. That he knew to be mechavi in that time that Hakadosh Baruch Hu got upset. So Bilam ben Beor Gilgal. Bilam ben Beor was Laman da Sitkos Hashem. He knew the Sitkos Hashem, and he knew the time that Hakadosh Baruch Hu got upset. Dr. Gemara Rabbi Lazar, Amlan Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael. Ami Reu Kamet Sitkos Asisi Machem Shlo Kasti Lechem Kolosan Ayamim Shim Kasti Lechem Lo Nishtayer. Skip Meovdei Kochavim. Skip that part. It's taken out. Misoneim Shal Yisrael Sridu Palit. We always talk with those type of words. Whenever we talk about destroying the Jewish people, we use a euphemism. We don't say we're going to destroy the Jews. We say we're going to destroy the Soneim Shal Yisrael, the ones who hate the Jews, which is a euphemism for the Jews. So Hakadosh Baruch Hu says to the Jewish people that what? He says you should appreciate the fact that I didn't get angry during the time of Bilam HaRasha, because he could have figured out when that moment was, and had he cursed you, I would have, quote unquote, had no choice but to curse you. Therefore, you should appreciate the fact that I refused to get angry to allow him the opportunity to curse you. That's what Bilam says to Balak. Ma'akov lo kava el, u'ma'azam lo zam Hashem. Interesting. The way you read that Pashup shot is what? He didn't curse Hashem, so therefore I can't curse. Hashem's not cursing them, I can't curse him. He's not getting angry, I can't get angry. No, it's the same, one and the same. He's not getting angry, therefore I can't curse them. That's what Bilam is saying. Because Hakadosh Baruch Hu wasn't getting angry, I'm not able to curse the Jewish people.
So he didn't get angry at that.
During the time, let's say, whatever amount of time in Bilam, no, you're right, even for that Rega, during the time of Bilam's life, or as much time as Bilam knew how to curse the Jewish people, Hashem didn't even get angry during that Rega. Now again, getting angry during that Rega is different than him getting angry ever. Again, we don't know exactly what this means. It doesn't mean that Hakadosh Baruch Hu didn't punish anybody for that entire time. It's that whatever this anger is that would be able to cause destruction of the Jewish people of the world, that comes like this. And that Bilam was the only one who ever knew how to figure that out. Had he cursed them during that time, the Jewish people seemingly would have been destroyed. During Bilam's life, Hakadosh Baruch Hu said, I'm not going to get to that level of anger where if he curses you, you'll be destroyed. That was the pshat. Says the Gemara, V'kama zamo. How long does he become angry? Rega. V'kama rega. So this seems to be an argument. Amar meimer v'temer ravina. This is more rega k'meimer. The amount of time it says to take rega. That's a lot more than 1/53,000th of
Rega.
Yeah. No, even
Rega
if you
is
say
rega.
Rega,
Like
right?
rega.
That's where it comes from. But even if you say rega like that,
Is that really where it comes from?
no. Minala and rega have a rischei. And where do you know that a rega he's angry? How do you know he gets angry for a rega? Dersiv ki rega biapo chayim bertzano. Rega biapo. There's a rega when he gets upset. V'iba yisema me'acha chavi kimat rega ad yavor zam. You have to wait a rega until his anger passes. Emas rasach. Rabbi, when does he get angry? It means when is this rega of time that he would have gotten angry, that had Bilam found he would have been able to curse the Jewish people? Rabbi betla shoy kamaisa. In the first 3 hours of the day. Ki chiyura karbilasa de tarnagolo. When the comb of the rooster pels. That's when he gets angry. So I guess by looking at the rooster, you could tell. Kol shaita v'shaita mechaver chiyura, but I understand his comb pels the entire day. Kol shaita ispe surike sumke. Hahishaita lespe surike sumke. That means every hour during the day, even when it pales, there's still red streaks there. During this time, during the first 3 hours, during the time that he gets upset, during this rega, there's no red streaks. So if you look at the nose of a rooster and you don't see any red streaks for that much time, if that's the amount of time that you can curse the Jewish people. So there was a min that was bothering Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Yom echad naka tarnagol va'okmi ben kari darsi said, I have a great idea. I'm going to go take a tarnagol. I'm going to stare at it, and as soon as I see the tarnagol's, as soon as I see his comb turn totally white, I'm going to curse them in. This would be great if I could do this. Ayin Bey.
It was supposed to be a Shem curse.
He looked at him. Savar. No, but the point is that you quote unquote get Hashem to curse him. That's what Bilam thing was. Bilam was going to be able to. You'll be able to get that curse going.
So you're not cursing the heretic. You want God to curse the heretic
during that time of anger, or you could say your curse will work because that's the time that Hakadosh Baruch Hu is angry. Savar kimata hishaita alte. Perfect. I don't like that guy in shul. As soon as I see the rooster's crow turn pale, I'm going to curse him. Kimata hishaita nimname. When that time came, what happened? He dozed off. Amar shmamina lav orachara lemevrachi. He said, I learned from here that clearly I'm not supposed to be doing this. Clearly Hashem doesn't want me doing this. What?
There's no rooster policy in the shul.
There's no rooster policy, yes. Rachamav al kol masav ksiv. Uksiv gam enosh letzadik lo tov. They have roosters in Detroit. No, don't they have roosters in Detroit? No. Rachamav al kol masav. That's what it means that Hashem has rachmanus on all his maisim, and it also says gam enosh letzadik lo tov. That even for a tzaddik, he shouldn't go ahead and be punishing people / cursing other people. So even if you're a tzaddik, you shouldn't be punishing other people. So again, you see that it's not meant to be, that we should know when it is in order to be able to curse our enemies. Tana b'shmei Rabbi Meir b'shah shahamelachim manichin kisrein b'roshein mishachim l'cham miyad koetz HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is interesting. We said also HaKadosh Baruch Hu gets upset. Now, this might not be the same level of zam, not clear, because Baruch Hu gets upset, he gets angry at the time that the malachim of the world go ahead and bow down to their chama. We said that was also during the first 3 years. If you remember, during the first 3 hours, if you remember, that was part of the Gemara there, where it said that the non-Jewish kings get up early, and the Jewish kings don't necessarily get up early. Says the Gemara, Rav Yosef, lo litzlei inish. This is interesting. Because of this, and because HaKadosh Baruch Hu gets up he gets angry during the first 3 hours of the day when the malachim are menichin kisreihen. So therefore, lo litzlei inish slusa de musve b'tlashoy kamaisa diyoma biyoma kama direshasa biyachid dilma keva demafgedina dilma mayne beovde v'dachvule midchid. It's a very, very specific time. Because Hashem gets angry during the first 3 hours of the day, and because on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, at the beginning of the day, is when HaKadosh Baruch Hu does the judgment, therefore one should not daven musaf, and we'll see why musaf specifically, by himself, on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, within the first 3 hours of the day.
Wow. That's
a no-no. Chances of davening by yourself on Rosh Hashanah during the first 3 hours of the day, musaf, is not so common, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu says one should not do that. So that's Gemara. If it's a bad time, if it's an auspicious time, so why does it tzibur? There are definitely tziburim that do it, not many, but even the ones that. No, you don't daven the first 3 hours of the day. You're not davening vasikin. You're not getting up to. You're getting up to musaf in the first 3 hours of the day.
After shofar.
9:30.
At 9:30. What time is? Okay. Okay, I don't know. Okay, it could be.
That means history.
That would be fitting. Perfect. Okay.
Tzibur, big tzibur.
Ihachi the tzibur nami. The tzibur nefisha zechus. No, the tzibur has a zechus, and therefore, if the tzibur does it, you don't have to worry about it. But I don't think that they're getting in the first 3 hours of the day. That means within nates, but maybe not.
Ihachi. We start.
What?
Sure, 6 o'clock.
Right. Ihachi the yachid the safra nami lo. So if that's true, the Gemara says that a yachid shouldn't be doing it. So then why is shachris okay? You're basically saying a tzibur can do whatever they need to. Yachid shouldn't do shachar. He can do shachars. Kevan de'ikat tzibur de kamatzlu lo kamatche. Interesting. So we're saying, like, we have this halacha l'maisa that if you can't daven in a minyan for whatever reason, it's always good, if possible, to be mechavein to daven at the same time that the minyan by you is davening. So if you know that there's a 7:30 minyan, for whatever reason you can't make it, there is an inyan to daven at home at 7:30. Again, in this shul, it's not such a big deal because you have all the different minyanim. But if for whatever reason you can't make the shul on a particular day and you always daven at 7:30 minyan, so there is an inyan to daven 7:30 at home on that day as well. So in shacharis, and that's what he seems to be saying here as well. First shacharis, if you're davening by yourself, there's a good chance that there's a tzibur somewhere davening shacharis during the first 3 hours of the day because they want to daven vasikin. But by musaf, where there's no rush. You don't have to do it in the first 4 hours of the day. So by Musaf, where they take their time, where they don't daven Shachris as fast as they daven in some places. So where they daven Musaf, so over there, then what? By Musaf, there's a chance, a good chance that if you daven by yourself during the first 3 hours of the day, not only you're not with a tzibor, there's no tzibor even davening Musaf at all.
Anywhere.
And therefore, Lamaisa, your prayer will not necessarily, you're not toast, but it just means that your prayer won't necessarily go ahead and be accepted as it had been if you were davening b'tzibor. Says the Gemara, the Gemara says, I don't have contradiction though. You're telling me that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gets angry the first 3 hours of the day. But now we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is learning Torah. He has a chavrusa the first 3 hours of the day. Says the Gemara, Eipach, turn it around and say, no, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, turn around this Gemara, and really HaKadosh Baruch Hu is angry the first 3 hours, and he learns Torah in the afternoon. Says the Gemara, or you could say, don't turn around this brisa, and really HaKadosh Baruch Hu is learning Torah in the morning, and he judges after the first 3 hours. So if he's not judging the first 3 hours, what's the problem? Torah dechsiv bei emes, dechsiv emes kanaval timkor, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu also lifnei mishur asadim. When he's learning Torah, which is emes, therefore he's judging. If he's judging during the first 3 hours, I mean, officially he's judging after the first 3 hours, but if you need him to judge during the first 3 hours, he can multitask, so he'll go ahead and he'll judge. But if he's judging while he's learning Torah, then the Torah says XYZ, we're going to hold XYZ. We're not going to go lift Mishra Zidin. That's why you shouldn't daven in the first 3 hours. Because even if you want to tell him that he's not, quote-unquote, sitting in judgment, if he's learning Torah during that time, so then he's going to judge you harshly during the first 3 hours, especially if you're biyachid. Especially if you're davening Musaf and nobody else is. Din delok siv beyametz HaKadosh Baruch Hu otzam lifnei mishras adim. But after the first 3 hours, where quote unquote, obviously again this is all out there, but quote unquote he's not learning Torah after the first 3 hours. So there he's going to be more likely to judge you lifnei mishras adim, to go above and beyond.
He's learning Torah. He's tougher.
He's tougher. Rashi says parenthetically, just interestingly, he does give another difference between Musaf of the regular year and Musaf of Rosh Hashanah. If you look on the top, like halfway down in the middle of the Rashi, din lo ksive emes musve kol hashana hein shavach v'tzipurei ma'aseh. Usually in Musaf it's praising God. Aval Musaf Hashana mitoch shemispala malchios zichronos u'shofros mifka dina tvei val yifrosh adam atzma min hatzibor. During the Musaf of Rosh Hashanah it's even worse, because then you can argue you should never daven Musaf during the first 3 hours of the day by yourself. Even during the year Rosh Chodesh or something, or Hanukkah, whatever. Why? Well, no Hanukkah, but Rosh Chodesh during the year. Why? Because the HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to be makbid with you during those first 3 hours. He says it's Dafka Rosh Hashanah as well, because not only is he learning Torah and he's going to do emes, but the actual Musaf of Rosh Hashanah is more of an emestic Musaf. It's not just praising God, it's Malchio, Shofar, Zechonos, it's talking about God's judgment as well, and it's a day of judgment, which is obviously why it's appropriate, and therefore Kal V'chomer is going to be even harsher during that time. So therefore, bottom line is, everything seems to be going, and everything seems to be okay. The one you shouldn't do is you shouldn't daven Musaf on the first day of Rosh Hashanah when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in judgment and he's sitting there and learning Torah and he's not going to go lift in Mishra Hasadin. You shouldn't daven Musaf during the first 3 hours of Rosh Hashanah on the first day of Rosh Hashanah by yourself.
He's going to miss the keys.
Yeah. Zak the Gemara. Yomei Taraf Ba'egel Siman Gufa. I command you today to do it. Hayom lasosam, v'lo lamachar lasosam. Got to do things today, not tomorrow. Don't wait till tomorrow. There may no be tomorrow. Hayom lasosam v'lo hayom litos chara. Not only should you do today and not wait till tomorrow, you should do today and you won't get your schar until tomorrow. Amar B'Shua ben Levi. Any mitzvah you do in this world will come and be made for you in the next world, and seemingly any avera that you do in this world, you will come and testify, which is a scary thought. Any avera, besides for that whole movie we talk about and watching your whole movie, an avera that you don't do tshuva for, the avera will literally come and be made in front of you, in front of Bezin, in front of all the neshamos, which is quite scary. The Olam Haba Shneimar, like it says, what movie? They say that when you, after 120 years, so Kadosh Baruch Hu plays a movie of your entire life that you watch. Shenamar, that's why they say that people that have been, in near-death experiences, sort of see their entire life flash before them. And then, again, Yidnu Eideyam v'yitzduku yishmu v'yomru emes. Furthermore, we say Yidnu Eideyam v'yitzduku Eli Yisrael, that their deeds are going to be their Eidim. Yishmu v'yomer emes, who's going to hear and tell the truth? Elu ovdei kochavim. V'haya Hashem l'melech ha'kol aretz, bayomahu yeh Hashem echad u'shmo echad. At the end of time, so all the ovdei kochavim will come and they'll actually say the emes. and they'll admit to the emes. Remember, Shurban Levi called mitzvah sheisrael osim b'olam hazeh, boos v'torfos osam le'ovdei kocham l'olam haba al paneim. Certain things that I never understood, like there are certain things that are censored out, and then there are other things that are not censored out. So this would have been on my list of things that maybe they would have considered censoring out. All the mitzvah that Yisrael do in this world, it's one thing to say Yisrael versus Ovdei Kochavim, but here it's saying all the mitzvah Yisrael do in this world will come, and it will be able to be used to beat the Ovdei Kochavim in Olam Haba al Paneim, to beat them on their face. Shenamar shmartem vasisem kihichach matzchem uvineschem le'einei hamim neged hamim lo nemar, not just to be used against the hamim, ela le'einei hamim, literally milamed shabos v'torfos le'ovdei Kochavim al Paneim le'olam haba. You go ahead and you can use your mitzvos to repay them, or to pay them back for all the bad deeds that they did to you. Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi. What?
Maybe if it said minim, they would have taken it out.
Right.
Kachavim, they're against that too.
Right. Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi lost Yisrael as egel el litein pischon per lebali tshuva. Fascinating. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu let the Jewish people, who were clearly on a high level from Matan Torah, as Rashi says, that they were overcoming the Yetzer Hara, why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu allow them to go ahead and be over the Chet Egel? Obviously, we have Bechira Chavshis. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu even allow this whole process to go through? They were fearing God at the time. Sorry, I just skipped something. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu let them go ahead and do the Egel? So that there would be a Pischon Pel Lebali Tshuva. So that Bali Tshuva later on, throughout history, would be able to look back and say, look, you can sin and you can be forgiven. Shenamar mitin v'yavil v'avam zelahem liyirosi kol hayamim. V'hainu dam Rabbi Yochanan b'Shimon ben Yochai. Lo David roy lo samase. David wasn't on the level either that he should have gone ahead and sinned with Bathsheba. V'lo Yisrael, even though the Gemara says that anybody says that David HaMelech sins, but over here it's clearly using it that he did something wrong by getting into the circumstance with Bathsheba. Lo David roy lo samase. V'lo Yisrael ruin lo samase. David wasn't on the level where it should have happened with Bathsheba, and Bnei Yisrael weren't on the level where it should have happened with the Egel. So why did it happen? Why Kadosh Baruch Hu let it happen? Lo David roy lo samase dechsiv libi chalal bekirbi. He literally had destroyed the Yetzer Hara within him. V'lo Yisrael ruin lo samase dechsiv v'yol v'avam zelahem liyirosi kol amim. They were there and they were literally ready to fear God for their entire life. Elalama asu, which I'm understanding is saying, why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu allow this to happen? Lomar lecha, to teach us that what? She'im chait yachid omrim lo kil chait yachid. When a Yachid sins, what do we say to him? Look at Navi, go learn Navi, even though you don't learn it in school. Go learn Navi and read the story of David, and you'll be able to go ahead and you'll be able to know that even a Yachid can do tshuva. V'imcheto tzibor, and if a tzibor does a mistake and does a chait, we'll tell him, open up the Chumash. You don't even have to go to Navi, open up the Torah. Omer lo kal chait el tzibor. Go ahead and see what happened to the tzibor by the chait egel, and see the fact that even when you sin, there's always the doors of tshuva that are open to you. Have a wonderful Shabbos, everyone.